All right, so for adding some leaves, get this a little higher. We're trying to avoid having them all come out from the center. You can have a few, and then I'm going to also do some leaf stamping kind of a thing. Okay, so you need, center vein, and then you need the other veins that come off of that. And I'm trying to leave white and keep it loose. So, okay, so now I'm having this leaf come off, from off camera, sort of. And so it doesn't look like it's coming from there. I've got my veins coming out in this direction. All right, I'm liking this sort of shorthand I've found of just barely the tip of my brush touching and back and forth. I like that so much, I'll try it someplace else. And then I don't know what else. So I wonder what happens if I just kind of add a little water to the background. I don't know. Might look terrible. Let's see. Might be okay. Hard to tell what it might do. I don't want to do too much of this, I don't think. Maybe just a couple of places. It's a leaf over here I didn't do yet. Okay, now we're going to stamp a leaf. Let me just darker. So you want them kind of, going in different directions. Okay, now dry stamping. Okay, so this is the flower that was sort of stamped with the plastic bag. Now I've got a leaf from my leftover poinsettia plant that somehow didn't die yet, so I just can't throw it out yet. So on the back, it's rougher. And since we know about poinsettias that, this part, the red part of it is also a leaf, and it's just those little teeny yellow things that are the flower. I'm going to try both of these leaves. So what I'm going to do is paint the back of it. So I'm grabbing some green, and you can see it's catching on the veins. And then I don't have to draw veins anymore. It's so lovely. It's a stamping technique. I don't expect you to still have a poinsettia in March, but again, I just couldn't bear to throw her out if she still has some a couple of red flowers. She seemed happy enough in the sun and hardly watering her at all. My daughter and I like to personify our plants, so we usually say her. And so just taking my time painting the back. I could also press it into here, try and get some paint on the back, but it's working pretty well to just get it. And I want to get the edges too. So not just the veins, but the edge. Like I'm trying to get paint on the edge. All right, I could probably take a little longer to do this, but I'm gonna get a little of the stem too. All right, so I'm just gonna pick a spot and press. And it usually works. And you usually get paint all over your hands too. Oh well. You can always use gloves. All right, notice I'm like taking my time here. Just for a slightly cleaner look, I'll just put a tissue on top. All right, cleaner look to my hands. Oh, look at the beautiful. Yay! Okay, Leah, are you on board? Isn't it wonderful? Okay, I'm gonna link.
Yes, I'm stamping away.
Isn't that great? That's like stamping gold here. Okay, so I'm gonna just add a tiny bit every now and then, and no one will know that it's not a real poinsettia leaf. Maybe actually a botanist will know. Okay, but only your botanist will know for sure. All right.
We could basically take any leaf outside. It didn't have to be the
Yeah, you can take any leaf outside, use the back of it. Usually that's where the nice texture of the veins are. So, all right, I'm being a little impatient and I'm pressing right in my little container here. Let's see if that was a good idea or not. Well, it wants to be brushed. The second and third time you stamp the leaf, sometimes it comes out better because the leaf kind of takes the paint better the next time around. Like, see, it's kind of beading up here. Okay, so if you're impatient and you stamp it too soon, like I'm about to, you'll get a partial leaf, but it'll be okay. Put it right there. And I kind of like the Kleenex on top. That's pretty good. And so if you get less paint on it, let's see what happens. It'll still probably come out. Yep. And it still comes out. So, and you can always go and just add that little bit of extra, you know, you just hardly touch it with the tip of your brush. And you can pull, you get some of those veins to come back. I'm pretty sure that I kind of remember that a hibiscus leaf has a little bit of a jagged edge. So you can go back and add more of a jagged edge. I also kind of remember that it's maybe a little rounder than this. I don't think I'll change that though, but I think I will add this little bit of a jagged edge. Tip of your brush is good practice for you to use just the tip and get these, you know, little delicate things. These little delicate details. And then, okay, so then this will be coming here. Now, remember where the pistils and stamen are, you come straight down from that, and that's where your stem is likely to be. Okay, then you can attach your leaves to the stem. Maybe this one attaches way down. Maybe it's going to look terrible. Maybe there's another leaf that springs off of here. I don't know. I'm going to make a guess that another leaf springs off. Okay, so I'll just get a little more on this one. So again, second time goes on better. And I'll just get another leaf like right here. Partial leaf. Fix it with the brush. And I'm not even going to load it up again. I'm going to stamp it without doing anything just to see what happens. Live life dangerously. Okay, so I have a partial stamp, and then I can just take advantage. So that and just finish it off. Sometimes it's just a little bit fun to do that. Everyone has a different idea of fun, you know. So that's not your idea, then take the time and put the paint on properly.
When you do your leaves, do you always put one going in the wrong direction, like towards it, like you did in that other picture?
I just try to not have that spray out from the middle. So Because that's what it, you know, to me, you can get away with that with like a poinsettia. I've got the poinsettia leaves spraying out because I don't know, it worked for that. But because it's kind of it just kind of looks like a wreath, and so and wreaths make us think of Christmas. So I'm just kind of going in different directions. And maybe coming off from the side or whatever. Now, what's happening here? I'm looking on camera. My flower looks like it's totally faded and that the leaves are darker. So I'm not happy about that. I may have to go in and make get some stronger color. Let me move this wet painting away. You know, watercolor dries light, and sometimes you have to go back. So I'm going to just get a little bit stronger color because the leaves are kind of taking over color-wise. Here's where we can get those lovely curves, you know, like it's going in. You want to do that. All right. I'm on the very edge of overdoing it. So gotta watch out. Already starting to lose some of my lovely white streaks. Careful not to mess it up completely. I could also on this composition, you know, maybe it's sort of a whole bush of these beautiful hibiscus. And so I can kind of get like an indication of maybe another flower over here. A couple of colors, you know, you don't have to do the whole thing. See part of it, perhaps. Maybe same over here. I don't know. I'm just thinking of filling the page. Maybe there's a lovely part of one here. There's just a little something here, and that might help tone the leaves down. Another way to tone the leaves down is perhaps they're too contrasty. This strong dark against the strong light. So of the white of the paper. So I could tone them down a little by taking away some of the white of the paper and lessening the contrast. And then maybe my leaves will recede instead of taking over my composition. And if that's too yellow, which it might be, I'll dip back into green. And I can leave a little bit of white, but I think it's the contrast of the white and green. Yeah, see, that already is more supportive of this. So maybe I want to just eliminate a little bit more of the white green contrast. And then this is like a white green contrast here. So let's see what I can add. Maybe I can just get some lovely yellow green in here to just be like leaves in the distance. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording. So that's all about leaves. And then I think I will maybe add, we don't always do backgrounds in here, but sometimes it's kind of nice. So I think I may get a little bit of some background happening. With just kind of, you know, not solid green, just dabs of green. And I'm gonna have to keep changing up my greens. But I think by having it like that, I think I'm gonna have my hibiscus show better. So I'm gonna do it in kind of a dabby way. Little bit of white will show. And then the rest will maybe blend a tad. You know, and I've got these dots of color out here anyway, so they'll just kind of blend and become background. Stop the recording.